Now, what do Socrates, Beethoven, Michelangelo, Darwin, what do they all have in common? They're all geniuses. Genius is simply defined as a person, a body of work, or a volume of ideas that unleashes the genius and surpasses human excellence as it's defined. I'm here today to give you the tools that you need to become the master you want to be of your own inner genius. So my question to you is, what do these geniuses have access to that we don't have in our own daily lives? The answer is very simple. It's called mind mapping. And today I'm going to give you that precious tool that will help unleash the genius you've always wanted to be. Now, who in the room has ever heard of becoming a mind mapper or mind mapping? Raise your hand if you've ever heard of that. I don't see a single hand in the room. That's okay. That's why I'm here. I'm going to give you those tools and teach you just how you can become a mind mapping expert. It's very simple. It starts with your brain, your imagination, and then a couple of additional tools. Colored pens, yay, we all love those. We remember them from art school. And a blank sheet of paper. These are the 4 tools that's going to liberate your inner genius. Now, if you're somebody that doesn't like to work with a blank canvas, if that makes you nervous, I have a new tool you can use that Socrates didn't have access to, and that's a computer. There's 2 programs you can use to mind map. One is iMind, another one is called NovaMind. Now, mind mapping is known for a representation of the internal thinking process. That's what a mind map is. Tony Buzan, the founder of mind mapping, calls mind mapping the universal key for unlocking the full mental potential. So if you want to learn a language, if you want to summarize a book on 1 page, if you want to summarize a lecture on 1 page, mind mapping is the tool that's going to help you recall information, understand and connect ideas. It's going to help you solve problems. It's going to help increase your recognition and your recall. It's going to make you a strong, mental, and happy genius. So, without further ado, let's take a look at a mind map. First, you start with a central idea. In this particular instance, what I did is I wrote mind map. You put that in the center of your page and you put a circle around it. Then you take branches. The branches are these squiggly lines that you see coming from the circle. Now, the reason why they're squiggly is very simple. You do not thinking, which blocks the whole process of creating ideas and making it a creative process. So you want them to be squiggly. Then what you want to do is take a keyword or a key phrase and put it on the line. Make sure that your word matches your line. There's a very good reason for this, because if you had a long line and a very small word in the middle, you would not see the associations. You would not be able to connect the ideas. And that's why we mind map, is to create and foster connections, build associations, create pathways. The other thing you want to do is use color. Color is a wonderful tool. It stimulates the imagination, it enhances creativity, and it increases your ability to recall. The third thing you want to do is use images. Now, you don't have to be Picasso to pull this off. For instance, with creativity, I took a stick figure of a little guy wearing a beret with a painting brush at an easel. That, to me, links creativity and an artist. So when you create those associations, you start to build recall. You start to increase your awareness. You start to understand relationships simply by doing those 2. In fact, they did a study at university, and they found when people did this, when people took graphical images and they wrote keywords and used color, they had a greater recall than people who did simple note-taking by itself. Now, you may be looking at me right now going, it looks okay, it looks interesting, I'm not sold, why would I want to even do this? Well, mind mapping is a wonderful way to get access to your genius. As we know, we've talked about all these fantastic people like Socrates that have done it. But I have a very compelling study that may convince you to come onto my side of the team. And that is, they did a study with London University, and they had people take tests after 4 years of taking notes and going through their college education. They had them take a test, and what did they find? They found that they retained only 20% of what they learned. Think about the hand cramps you had trying to keep up with your instructors, trying to read through all these notes that you've taken. In fact, I can't even remember a note that I wrote last week for groceries. So mind mapping will help with this whole process. Now, if you're ready to jump onto the mind mapping fence, as I am, and jump over it, think about the pantheon of geniuses you'll be joining. You'll be joining Socrates, you'll be joining Michelangelo, Beethoven, Darwin. These are all the people before you who used mind map with great success. Look at what they've been able to achieve. Now, in summary, I'm going to quote Einstein when I say there's a very good reason to mind map, and the answer is this: you do not want to use the same thinking you use to create problems to solve your problems. So think about what a mind map can do. It can enhance your thinking and get you outside your box and get you into opening up the creative process. Thank you so much for coming. I will see you next week, and we'll actually do a mind map. Thank you.